Hey y'all, it's your girl S. Harris and I'm back. So we are going to start with the conversation tonight in regards to building strong relationships, strong, non-toxic, healthy relationships. So I'm going to get everybody's point of view on this. Thank you. I'm going to get everybody's point of view on this. This is going to be a regular conversation. Y'all can chime in whenever y'all want to, and I'll read the comments. I'm going to leave them up tonight so I can read them and see them. All right, y'all. Let's go. So what do y'all think is a healthy... First of all, let's just start with this question. What do you think is a healthy, strong relationship? And what would you get out of that as far as growing in life?
A healthy, strong relationship. The definition of a healthy, strong relationship really depends on the type of relationship it is.
Correct. Yeah, correct. That would be correct. Because if you was my brother, I would want that relationship to be strong and healthy as well. Because, everybody needs a strong male. Every woman needs a strong male in their life at some point in time. So I agree with that statement.
But then you also have to consider, again, the type of relationship, because when you talk about strong, loving relationships, you can have a strong, loving relationship with your mother.
True.
But then there's some things you're going to do with a person that you're in a strong, loving relationship with, that you're in love with, that you ain't going to do with your mama.
Correct.
That ain't natural. But with that being the case, there's a distinct difference between the two types of relationships, thereby establishing two different types of pillars of support in those two different types of relationships.
True.
So
I'm going to say for me, any relationship that I'm building or have built or been in, or any ship, let me just say that, any type of ship, I want it to be fulfilling in whatever way it can be. I want to be able to grow, not outgrow that person, but grow with that person, because life changes, life happens. I want to be able to come to this person like, hey, I don't like what's going on at this moment in time with us, whatever the case may be. Let's talk it out. Let's figure it out and let's move forward, because you can always grow with somebody like that, right? Communication. I want it to be strong enough to where they know my mannerisms, to where if I say something to you, it's not going to offend you because you know me, or can we just not talk to each other for a week or two and still be okay? Because some people take offense to that. Like, oh, you ain't talk to me every day or whatever. It's okay, but it's not okay. Why you laughing?
Because, communication is great. You got to have communication.
Right.
But you have to be able to communicate and understand the communication that's being given.
True.
Because you can communicate all day long, and if the person don't understand what you're saying, it's a lost cause. True. And you just talking for no reason.
Comprehension. That's exactly what it is.
You got to be able to comprehend what I'm saying to you. You got to be able to relate to it. And even if a person does know you, and you telling the person how you are or how you feel, they may still get in their feelings and take it a certain way. Like, you could tell a person all day long, don't listen to how I'm saying it to you. Take what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying to you. But as a human, everybody is human.
Right. They gonna
So you're probably gonna take what they're saying to you, but you're also going to hear how it's coming out.
True.
And you're gonna you might take offense to it, you might not take offense to it. It's just a part of being human.
True.
And then it also depends on the person as well. Some people can just deal with it. Some people
on person. Yeah.
Right.
But comprehension and caring too, because you can comprehend what I'm saying and not care. Right. You could just not give a damn.
Right.
And be like, yeah, I heard you. I understand, but I don't care.
Exactly.
So comprehension and caring.
Now, let's go back to something that you said that struck a nerve. That always comes into play in every situation, but it's given less attention to more people than not. in every relationship, in every situationship, in every sunken ship, in every sailing ship, in every ship, there's a captain.
True.
And on that ship, typically it's accepted that the captain is the smartest person on the ship because they're the one with the most experience, they're the one with the highest level of credentials, they're the ones with the experience to be able to get out there and make that ship float and get where it needs to go. With that being said, relationships are pretty much the same way. It is in every relationship, there is the entire relationship is a period of testament. It's a period of learning. So somebody in that relationship is smarter than the other person.
I agree.
And it's not always the same person all the time.
I agree.
Sometimes each one of us is smarter in different areas than the other.
I agree with that.
But what most people never realize is you can never be smarter than your teacher. Only a smart ass.
Right.
So when we take what we learn about a person and attempt to go above and beyond the level of communionship, and it becomes slickery. It becomes, I'm smarter than you because I learned you, so now I know how to peg you and I can do
manipulation at its finest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That right there becomes the basis of almost every relationship and the disruption of the vibe or the chemistry.
That's the toxic
in that relationship.
That's the toxic.
It is, but most people don't realize that. They actually think that what they're doing is going to, by some stretch of the imagination, help the relationship.
And it's not.
They think it's going to benefit it in their,
because it's selfish and that's narcissistic. Selfish and narcissistic at its finest. And to me, that's disrespectful. Don't manipulate me. Like, don't do that.
But now, what do you think about the people who are in relationships who practices that level of manipulation without realizing that it's manipulative at all?
I'm gonna say they were taught that, and then some people don't know how to stop and correct their own self.
So it's a learned behavior.
It's a learned behavior because you don't. I mean, babies come out manipulating, of course, because they cry when they hungry, they cry when they wet. That's a manipulation tool, but that's because they don't know how to communicate verbally just yet. But I think it's a learned behavior. Like, as time goes on, some of us, if not all, were taught that that's a good way to go in a relationship, and it's really not, because I can learn you and let you be yourself.
Or they were taught that it's the only way to go.
Right.
Not necessarily that it's a good way, but it's the only way.
And it's not. I can learn you and let you be yourself, and we're gonna have a blissful life for the most part.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think, or do you find, or have you at all discovered in relationships, not just relationships that you've had, but even because we learn from things sometimes that we don't even go through. We watch other people go through it and we take the lesson from it.
Right.
So my question is, have you ever stopped and observed or experienced or realized that most people in relationships now deal with the person that they're with as though they're a third party?
Yeah. I watch it a lot.
Okay.
And for the life of me, I'll be so confused. I'll be like, how?
It almost never gets addressed, though.
Yeah.
The people that do it tend to say they don't see it, they don't acknowledge
or they don't care to
it,
acknowledge.
It's like,
they know what's going on.
What you're talking about.
Yeah. It's confusing to watch. I don't want a relationship like that. That's toxic. I'll be like, what? How? Nobody's happy.
But can relationships like that be strong, loving, committed relationships?
You can love somebody and not like them.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with commitment and strength. Remember,
you can be committed and not like somebody.
Loving, committed.
That's a situationship. That's not a relationship. That's a situation.
But some people are married and they do
They
that.
function
It's
that
a
way.
situation marriage.
It's a
And
situation marriage.
for all intents and purposes, there are people who do it and it work on the surface, as far as you can see.
Yeah.
It works for them. Because at that point, I just want to know if it's as simple as, hey, we just acknowledge it that this is what it is and we just rock with it. Is it that simple? Or is it a learned behavior that you have to grow into? Because remember, we were talking about growth in relationships.
That to me, that's ass backwards growing. I'm sorry. Because how do you? I don't understand how you get to that point where it's just like, oh, okay, well, we just here with each other, just for the sake of being here. That's where that loyalty come in. That's what I'm saying. Like
But most people, even in that situation, don't feel like that they're there just to be there. They feel like they serve a purpose, and that's how they justify being there.
You're like, oh no, I've been here for this 10 years, but 9 of the years you was crying and you miserable.
Or 9 of the years you had a wife-in-law over there that you don't know nothing about.
Not a wife-in-law,
or a husband,
mistress,
or husband-in-law, whoever, you know.
It happens.
It happens. I've seen it.
Blueberry.
Can we take a shot?
Yeah.
I want to say whatever you pour, I'll take a shot of, but I would be lying.
She's not gonna drink brown. She's already said that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's plenty of white over there.
Okay.
Well, her favorite, the Mexican.
I would.
Tito.
Well, I am from San Antonio, Texas. You know, I'm from Little Mexico. I am from Little Mexico because that's what they call it because we're so close to the border.
You couldn't be short with it.
Look, hey Tito, you're so crazy.
Tito's, yeah.
No, it's Tito. Hey Tito, you're so crazy.
When I do go visit other places, they be like, you drink Tito's? I be like, yeah.
Tito's is bomb.
It is good.
Yeah, it's the bomb.
It's cheap.
It will explode on your ass. For real.
Yeah.
It's good. It got a little kick to it.
Tito's do put you on your backside.
Oh, I can drink it all day.
Tito's
Don't. Whew. I went to Hawaii in March. We stayed in Hawaii for a week. What? Every day.
In Hawaii did you go?
Waikiki.
Ooh.
It was so pretty over there. As soon as I got off the plane, I was like, where the Tito's at? We was drunk every day. Every day. We didn't have to drive. We didn't have to get up and go to work. I didn't have to do nothing. I barely was checking my emails. I was like, what? We on vacation, okay?
Waikiki Beach is also a very, very nice place to stay.
It is, but they don't play about they wildlife and they environment. They do not play. It is so clean.
Boy,
it's so
clean.
beautiful.
You eat off the sidewalks over there.
Yes, they got Tito's and ATM. They sure do. They said we some Mexicans.
Hold on. We're gonna give them a tour right quick.
Okay, y'all gonna get a tour of the bar. Ooh, look at that bar.
Oh, look at that. It's Tito's. Tito, you're so crazy, man. Look at Tito. He's so crazy over there.
I love it.
We got Don Q hiding in the back. 151, set your soul on fire. See anything you know? See anything you like? Ooh, look. Tangerine. Hey, papi. What you know about that, Casamigos? That's charcoal. You ain't gonna see that everywhere. Ooh.
I was drunk.
Hey, what y'all know about that? Hennessy White. We got that Hennessy White. Got this 1738. Rolled up with the phone and said hello.
Is that who?
Got that Crown Peach.
I wonder what's in there.
Got that Red Nephews back there. What y'all know about that right there? Red Nephews. Jamaican. 180 proof of that dude.
I had 2 drinks. Not even shots. Like this.
That Bel Air over there.
And it wasn't even full. It was like this.
Moonshine, man.
Yeah.
Pinky, Kinky, and Pink Whitney. Got that Parmesan apple. What y'all know about that? Y'all don't know about that.
Oh, they love them some power.
Mm-hmm.
They love them.
You can have them back. Their mouth watering now.
Y'all see that bar? That's a nice bar. Put my little boy to shame. I'm telling you. I'm gonna be like them when I grow up.
I want to grow up. I'm a Bars R Us kid.
Yeah, so another topic I wanted to address is like loyalty. Like, why, as people, that we always choose loyalty over self? Because we really supposed to be loyal to ourselves first. But I've been knowing you for about 10 years. I'm gonna keep you around. I'm elevating in life, and you just gonna be along for the ride just because I've known you for so long. To me, that logically doesn't make sense.
Okay, so let's discuss
Especially if you toxic.
the big pink elephant in the room. What in the hell is loyalty to you? Because it's not the same to everybody.
That's true. That is very true.
So we can have a whole 6-hour discussion about loyalty.
That's true.
And 50% of the people that's involved in that conversation will still be confused and lost because everything that you talk about to them is foreign.
Right.
It doesn't scratch the surface, touch the bases, or is not familiar with them when it comes to what loyalty actually means to them.
Right.
You know, some cats feel like loyalty is just, you know, I know you, so when you call, I'm going to answer the phone. That's being loyal.
That's
Some cats' loyalty is, I will take a bullet for you, or I will put a bullet in a nigga for you. That's a whole different kind of loyalty. There's different, I think there's different
levels to loyalty.
There's different skins to loyalty. Because your loyalty is really based on what you've gone through
with this person. Yeah.
Because you're tried and true then. You know what you can do, what you can't do, what they will tolerate, won't tolerate. And that becomes the basis of how far they can throw you and trust you.
Okay, so let's say scenario. Me and this person been running the streets together about 10, 15 years, maybe half of our lives. Let's say 30 years. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I just decide I don't want to fool with you no more. For whatever reason. And now I'm not out here running the streets with you. Or I'm not going to answer the phone every time you call. Or when you need something, I'm not going to show up. You know what I'm saying? Or, hell no, I don't want to pick your kids up from school today. Or, I'm looking out for me right now. I got my own stuff going on. To the other person, that's going to be like, oh, you being real disloyal right now.
Yeah, because from the moment that you say, okay, I don't even want to deal with you no more.
Right
there, that's where the disloyalty come in at for some people, because they feel like
you supposed to deal with me forever.
You loyal, that ain't what you do. That ain't what loyal people do. Loyal people stick with you to the end. You know, we rock till the wheels fall off.
Right.
Because that's the type of loyalty that they looking for. Doesn't mean that that's always the type of loyalty that they giving.
True.
But they want the reciprocation of it wherever it comes from.
Right. That is very true. Good point. Good point.
Come on, y'all get in on this conversation.
They watching us go back and forth.
It's interesting watching y'all go back and forth.
I just think, like you said, everybody's loyalty is based on what they've been through with other people. For me, it's just like, you ain't got to be there every time I call you, but I just like to have a listening ear sometimes. Hey, Stephanie. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Steph.
For me, I just feel like you ain't got to be there every time I call you. Maybe once or twice. Maybe in one of the darkest moments of my life, if you're there, and that
but
I'm loyal to you.
When in that darkest moment you really need them and they're not there?
Then
a conversation.
How do you feel about it? Because here's the thing, that still comes back to how you feel about that person and what you've been through with them. Because if you look at the basis of loyalty, loyalty is nothing other than another word for trust.
True.
So when you say loyalty, you know, we typically loosely use loyalty as a word to describe somebody that's down for you all the time.
Right.
But in all actuality, loyalty simply means that you're a person that I can trust anytime and every time.
With anything.
Right. So when you look at the basis of it, we're talking about loyalty, but the loyalty is based out of one and the same. They're synonymous, loyalty and trust.
Right.
So you're really talking about the basis of trust.
Correct.
And so going back to a statement that you two made in the conversation a little while ago, with that trust issue, you know, when you say, well, you don't necessarily have to be a person that's going to show up all the time. Au contraire. Even if you're not a person that's going to show up all the time, I got to be able to believe that if I need you all the time, you're going to show up all the time. Because if I can't trust you to show up one time, that might be the one time I need you the most and you're not there.
That's true.
So at that point, what happens to the trust?
I'm going to say it depends on the situation.
I'm going to say it depends on the people.
And the person. I agree.
Situations change daily.
Correct.
But when people start to change,
that's where the problem comes in.
How much real loyalty can you have for a person that you don't know who they are from day to day?
I ain't gonna lie. It depends on the person, the day, what's happening in my life, the way my loyalty gonna run. And a lot of people ain't gonna say that out loud, but I'm saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. That it depends.
Well, we already know that different people. You're a different person. You're a different person to every person you know.
True.
Because every person you know brings something
different out of you. I agree with that.
So when we start talking about trust and loyalty, you, like me, I pride myself on telling people I'm the same person every day.
I would be lying if I said that out loud.
I'm not. I'm literally the same person every day. That doesn't mean that you're going to get the same thing out of me today and tomorrow that she gets out of me. It means that the composite person, the core of who I am never changes.
Right.
My outlook on life, it doesn't change.
Right.
My loyalty to the people that I love and trust the most, it doesn't change.
Right.
The way that I approach situations, it doesn't change. It might be different for you than it is for her or for him over there.
Nobody ever gets the same version of me.
But exactly. But that doesn't make you a disloyal or dishonest or distrustworthy person.
Not at all.
It simply means that. But see, most people think that they feel like, oh, you fake as hell because I saw you over there with such and such and you did X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And when I asked you,
because that person brought that type of energy to me, and I reciprocated.
That's it.
So that's what it is.
So
I'm never the same person. If somebody told you I was the devil to them, I probably was.
Right. But
you know what I'm saying?
So now you're in a realm where we're talking about reciprocation, which is the basis of the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Because we grew up in households where your grandparents and your parents told you, you get out what you put in.
Yep.
You can't go to Navy Federal and say, yo, I want to withdraw $1,000. But
you ain't got $1,000.
Right. You ain't got no account with them. How they going to give you $1,000?
Right.
And it's the same thing with reciprocation. It's like you get people that want everything out of you.
It's like,
but
no, I can't give you that.
Pitch nothing in to who you are. So, again, it goes back to...
And it's balance, too.
You didn't change. But your approach to the person that's expecting something of you has changed
based on how they brought to the table. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because everybody's perception is their reality. Let's just be clear.
That's true.
And I want to address this comment that I'm reading right now. Even when it's wrong. And people will still back people up.
Stand on it.
And they will stand on it and be like, are you listening to yourself? Like, what's wrong with you? But this is a good comment. Most people be loyal to what you do for them, not loyal to you as a person.
That is very true.
Yeah.
But now
that's true.
A lot of people don't know how to take you for what you. They don't know how to take you as the person that you are. They only know how to accept you for what you can do for them.
Yep.
Now here's the kicker with that right here, y'all. Oh boy, y'all just said a mouthful right there.
Yeah.
Most people will never know how to be loyal to the person that you are because most people never get to know who you are.
I'm gonna say I agree with that because
most people they're not interested in who you are.
Nope.
Because that's a job, that's work. I gotta go in here and spend time with this person. I gotta build a chemistry or build a bond. I gotta figure this person out in order for me to try to get 10 minutes worth of something out of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So what they do is people tend to play on
and manipulate
the parts. Yeah, they tend to play on and manipulate on the parts of you that's available to them.
Yep.
And it's crazy because we as individuals tend to wear our vulnerability on our sleeves without realizing it when we're at what we think is our strongest principle.
Oh, yes.
And so we thinking we got on the full armor of God, and we got the stanchions out, and we got the shield and the mighty this, that, and the other. And in all actuality, you leaking at the seams and don't even.
And everybody
realize
can see it.
But that's the thing. Everybody,
and they gonna play on it.
Everybody is a psychiatrist at the end of the day. Not everybody has a degree in it. Bless you. Not everybody has a degree in it. But
if you watch people long enough,
and I say this all the time in daily conversation, if you watch a person long and close enough, you will find out everything you need to know about them without
them saying
asking a question. You never have to ask a question. They're going to tell you and show you exactly who they are.
My sister tell me all the time, there's no way I could ever like date you or date somebody like you. She said it's so hard to like get to know you. She said you really do keep everything like in. She was like, we don't even know if you have feelings. You always smiling. But she's like, even if you're mad, like you're smiling.
That's a real thing. Because look, let me tell you. And this is funny. It's interesting you said that because we have been stripped down and rebuilt by society.
Yes.
To be people that are incomprehensible.
Right.
So that's the divide and conquer.
Yep.
So when you sit back and you really think about what it is to be human, what it is to be humanitarian, what it is to be emotionally available, you have to stop and consider this. We've been programmed to not connect,
right? Because
there's strength in numbers, and 1 + 1 is 2, and when you put them two together, it's gonna multiply. It's gonna multiply. So when you stop and think about it, going back to that conversation that we were just having about what your sisters and things say to you.
Hey y'all.
Hey. Hi. How are you?
How are you?
We have a situation in life now where you have here. We have a situation. Okay. Well, she had.
I just want to wash my hands. Hey y'all.
We have a situation now where. When you think of when you look at and think about people in their complete form, and like you were saying, it's like, well, we don't know if you got real feelings or not. We don't know what you feel. We don't know how emotional you are. We've become emotionally unattached.
Yeah, I am.
To people as a whole, for all not to be considered as a failure. It keeps us from the fears of human interaction and failure.
I agree with that.
Not being able to complete the task. Like you'll hear people say all the time, well, I'm trying to do this or I try to do that. And you'll hear me say, there's no such thing as trying.
You're going to do it or you're not.
When you say I'm trying or I tried, that is an excuse for why you failed to accomplish the goal you set out to.
What was that you sent me? Salad rolls?
It's like...
What's wrong?
The trying thing bothers me because if I tell you something is bothering me and you be like, oh, I'm trying to fix it. So how are you trying? It's either you gonna fix it.
You either here's the thing. In order to fix something, you got to know what's broke.
Right.
And if you know what's broke, how do you not know how to fix it?
Because you know what I'm saying? Because we just had the conversation where I just told you. So how do you not know? So now that goes back to comprehension. You comprehended what I said. You just don't care.
Or you have a comprehension that's built on buts.
Yeah.
Excuses. Justifications. So you have a victim mentality.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm a victim, I can't be held responsible.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very emotionally detached. Like. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that, but some people are not okay with it. Well, yeah. I shouldn't be okay with that. Let me say that.
But no. See, and this was the point I was going at. We live in a society now where you can't help but blame yourself for something. even when you're not trying to. And I'm gonna give you an example. You and I meet on a public street somewhere, and we attracted to each other, and we exchange numbers. And we talk for a little while, 4, 5, 6 months go by, and it just don't really, we cool, we all right, we can hang out, we have a good time, but it just don't click like that.
Right.
That's nothing you did, nothing I did. It's just not that type of chemistry.
Right.
However, the crazy part is one or both of us will be sitting back in the
what did I do?
What is it about me that
this person didn't like?
She don't like? Yeah. What is it? But in all actuality, when you sit back and you really think about it, we go back to that emotional detachment. You're detached from things that you've experienced that were not palatable to you.
Right.
But it's because we are so geared towards impressing each other that we're no longer allowed to be ourselves.
Right.
You hear so many people say, after attempting a relationship and it don't work, you hear them say, well, I know I'm this way and I'm that. And maybe I should tone this down, or maybe I should tone that down. But in all actuality, if God created a person that's for you,
it will be.
You don't have to tone shit down, because the person that's for you is going
be
to
for you.
Meet you, like you, love you, be in love with you unconditionally, and all the rest of that shit don't matter. You don't have to alter or change yourself. Right. You just have to be you.
It just didn't work out. That's what I always say. It just didn't work out.
The problem is so many people come to the table with this presentation of who they are, and it's not them. It's completely not them. And they try to live up to that standard and fit into that, what's that cartoon where they had the little robots, and like you got these little bitty humans, and then whenever the world is in danger, they go get inside of these big old robots to control them.
What is that? What cartoon is that?
I can't remember which one it is. But the thing is, it's like you got these humans that go to battle in these big ass, they attach themselves internally to these big ass robots. And it metastasizes their size so much that they can fight all these crazy ass demons. But the thing is, it's not who they really are at the end of the day. They detach from that robot and they come out of it.
Right.
And it's at rest.
Hey, Denise.
While they're living their life. But this is who we are as human beings. We've been geared so much to alter ourselves and change ourselves for the fitting and the palate and the liking of other people, that we lose track of who we really are and what makes us happy. And then when we
come across somebody who really is not about to change, then it's a problem.
It's like, oh, you're not willing to do this for me? Oh, okay.
Everybody's always like, girl, you always running these men off. No, I'm not. I'm literally not going to come to the table.
I'm deflecting the ones that are not for me.
Exactly. I'm not coming to the table with no mask on. I'm telling you, this is who I am. I don't like being seen like that. I don't want my name in the streets. I work too hard to keep my name clean, and that's a hard task.
Oh yeah, tell me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand. Like, nah, I don't want my name attached to no bad shit.
Like respecting privacy and things like that. Nowadays, when you say I'm a private person, people looking at you like, oh, you got some shit
weird.
What you hiding? What you hiding? Yeah,
I'm not. You don't want my personal life. I just told you, like, I my personal life.
That ain't yours. What you
like, and people think social media is everything, and it's like, yeah, I'm on social media. I am. Yeah, I love to take photos and all that, but that's not my life.
Social media is taking the place of human interaction.
Yeah,
and it's because it allows scary people to be whoever they want to be.
Keyboard gangsters.
There you go.
Like texting too.
Yes.
Twitter gangsters.
You can chime in.
I used to be really big on texting, and when I tell you. Now I absolutely
hate it.
Because you have no emotion. You don't know
it becomes irritating, especially when you have to read like
a paragraph.
Yeah. Like, why you just couldn't pick up the phone and call me?
Or sometimes it gets misconstrued.